Advocates for unhoused people and those living with disabilities joined forces today to condemn an order made by the president. The group met on the steps of the Vermont State House discussing the impacts this executive order could have and just what Vermont may do in response. ABC 22's Matt Holderman was there this morning, and he joins us now live in the studio.
Yeah, Lauren, that's right. The president issued an executive order last month titled Ending Crime and Disorder on America's Streets. And he says this will bring a new approach to ending homelessness focused on public safety. But advocates in Vermont say Trump's ideas could unravel years of progress and wrongfully criminalize people for being unhoused.
This is how authoritarian government takes over. And this is just the beginning.
A call for action coming from homeless rights advocates in Vermont Tuesday morning as they warn an executive order signed by President Trump a few weeks ago will harm homeless people across the country rather than ending the crisis. On July 24th, Trump signed his executive order called Ending Crime and Disorder on America's Streets, in which he notes the number of unsheltered people in the U.S. hit an all-time high last year, and nearly 2/3 of them reported regular struggles with drug use and mental health conditions. The president's recommendation is to, quote, shift homeless individuals into long-term institutional settings, an approach focused on protecting public safety. It would also federally prohibit open illicit drug use, urban camping and loitering, urban squatting, and more. Some of Vermont's top officials for ending homelessness say this order essentially makes being homeless illegal and will make things harder for those individuals.
When you criminalize people for being unhoused, what you're doing is you're saddling them with a criminal record and all the hurdles that come along with it. They're going to have to disclose that on their housing applications, which is going to make it that much more difficult for them to get housing.
President Trump also writes in the order that he plans to increase accountability and safety in America's homelessness programs, partially by being more selective about which ones get awarded grants. Vermont's advocates brought up the concern as well that if the state doesn't comply with the order, the president's administration could specifically target Vermont and withhold funding to the tune of almost $7 million.
He has made it clear that he intends to pull funding from states who do not criminalize homelessness and to reward states who do.
With the order in place, advocates such as Brenda Siegel once again called on Governor Phil Scott to increase shelter capacity and other resources for unhoused Vermonters, arguing that some of the hotels and motels in the state's GA housing program can fit more people right now. Their final message, asking Vermonters to stand together against the order.
For the safety and dignity of all Vermonters, we must all stand up.
Now, you might remember this past legislative session, Governor Scott vetoed a bill that would create a new program called VHERTH, aimed at giving more power to local communities when it comes to solving the crisis. Now, Siegel says she has no plans of trying to convince state legislators to pass an amended version of VHERTH next session because she is not willing to take out or change anything included in the plan the way it was written. Reporting live in the studio, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.